On today's Pre-Med Monday, we're going to discuss the eukaryotic cell, particularly the animal and fungal eukaryotic cells, because those are the ones that are heavily tested on the MCAT. So first, we have to discuss what makes a eukaryotic cell so special, and that is the presence of a nucleus or a bunch of different compartments called organelles throughout the cell. This is different from prokaryotic cells where everything's just dumped in there without any compartmentalization. Now, in the eukaryotic cell, we have this nucleus. And inside of the nucleus, we have all the genetic material, like the DNA, found here. We also have the intermediate RNAs that are found here before they're distributed to the cytoplasm. So let's talk about the cytoplasm. That's all the space and fluid that fills the interior region of the cell where everything's basically floating around. Cytoplasm. Now, directly connected to this nucleus, we have the rough endoplasmic reticulum, sometimes abbreviated RER. What makes this endoplasmic reticulum rough is the presence of ribosomes throughout that membrane. mRNA from the nucleus that is synthesized from DNA will be sent to the rough endoplasmic reticulum, where these ribosomes will then turn that RNA into protein. Now, it's really important to note that any protein that's made within the rough endoplasmic reticulum will either end up in the cell membrane or outside of the cell. That's its destiny. Now, the proteins that are made in the rough endoplasmic reticulum are going to be packaged, modified, and slightly adjusted in the Golgi apparatus. That's right here. So over here we have that rough endoplasmic reticulum, RER, and then subsequent to that, we have the Golgi apparatus. Now, on the test, they might address the cis and trans side of the Golgi apparatus. Cis is the side that actually receives the proteins from the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Trans is the side of the Golgi apparatus where all of those proteins are going to leave from. Now, you are going to have ribosomes distributed throughout the cytoplasm as well. And they are also going to convert mRNA into protein, but those proteins will stay in the cytoplasm to function within the cell. Some other major organelles include the mitochondria, and as we know, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, but more importantly, we have to note that this is where cellular respiration is going to happen. We're going to make the majority of our ATP within these mitochondria. We also have lysosomes. Lysosomes are super important and they're heavily tested on the MCAT. Let's look at the word. Lys is right there. That means to break down. Lysosomes are actually going to get proteins, get junk from throughout the cell, get junk from the outside of the cell, and actually break it down. It's a highly acidic environment in here, kind of like the stomach within our organs, that helps break down or digest different pieces of things so we can analyze it or get rid of it. Throughout the cell, you're also going to have these little tiny cell membrane kind of pouches, and these are called vesicles. We can consider these like FedEx packages. They're just transferring stuff within the cell and outside the cell to help the cell communicate with itself, but also with the outside world. Now, speaking of the outside world, we have the barrier. So this is called our cell membrane. And all eukaryotic cells have a bilayer cell membrane, a lipid bilayer, where there are two layers of cells with the hydrophilic ends on the outside, hydrophobic tails inside, that creates a hydrophobic barrier with the outside world. Now, fungal cells have something special that animal cells do not, and it is this cell wall. I've drawn it in green and only in parts of this cell, so you can remember it's only in fungal cells, not in animal cells. And this cell wall will confer further protection from the outside world to the cell. So let us know what you think, and if you have any questions on these organelles or other ones, drop them down in the comments.